Hello and welcome, as today is that of the completion for the third day of June 2019. My name is Derek and welcome to the Money Charts channel. I'm sorry if the volume is like really low. I cannot get it any higher. I am, however, going to be ordering a new microphone, just a USB clip-on one, which is the best one for my needs. And I'm just gonna. It's just an $18. If it works, great. If not, it's only 18 bucks. So be it. And we'll see how that goes. And in this video, I'm going to go over Bitcoin, what the sell-off means, as well as data. Big, 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 lots of data. If you got spreadsheet and you want to go through like 500,000 or a million worth of data sets, well, I got some interesting a site that can give you a lot of data, especially if you're a Binance coin trader like my. Well, I can't say I really am much of one because I'm not, but I can be, of course. But anyway, this is a market cap dominance daily time frame. It is just absolutely still doing nothing. The market in Bitcoin is having a huge decline for at least the short term. So let's take a look at that Bitcoin, and the decline here doesn't really show the picture. It says it's down 2%. It's down a lot more because that's just in the last 26 minutes as a new day is in place. Let's take a look at this on Coinbase. Yesterday's day, which is actually today, down 7.19% plus an additional 1.19%. And looking at this on the 5 minute time frame, of course, all bets trades of the like within each his own risk and their own reward. But this is going obviously straight down from this 7 o'clock time frame. And then the lows come in at 8 o'clock. So 1 hour of going from about 8,400 and change down to 7,700. So 3 plus 4 is a little over 700, a little over 10% volatility. And since then, 4 periods now just finally making it up to the 18 average of low, steadily declining. At some point, this is going to have to stop going down and settle in. I mean, this could continue going down further if it so chooses. I doubt it will, but it could. And within other time frames, looking at this like 15-minute time frame, just a really, really, really fast breakdown. Obvious big support here, taken down at 83, and just the large moves from that point on. Single hour term, big volume, but that's to be expected with moves like this. I don't see how it couldn't be. And I mean, this hour here down looks like 4%, and then this one down 1.78 or four. Yeah, so decent declines there. 4 hour term time frame, a little bit choppy, but the daily term is where this gets very interesting as within this market, it has been in a uptrend ever since it got above it on February the 8th, spending very to little, little to no time below the 18 average of lows. As there was a small brief point here in March 4th, March 5th, barely going below it here, barely going below it at the end of April, almost going below it on this exchange here, and today barely going below it. This could be a reversal, it may not. Same thing as in here. It's either going to have to break down below the support in here, break down, which it didn't, or break above this resistance and go higher, which it did. Now, same thing. We are looking if it breaks down below the support, which is pretty much a little above where we are now, 79.72. So it's pretty much exact because this low is 79.72. So this general area, and of course, support can be reestablished down in the lower areas, but this general area, if it can hold and stay in this area, get above, then that would be a definition of holding and staying above the 18 lows. Then that doesn't kill the trend. So that's why it's in a cautionary position after this play in here as it stands. And amongst it, that means if this thing could at any time start to break down, I'll be looking for this. The 6,000 areas are just so big. There's just so many levels as we'll look soon on the weekly and monthly why that is such a large level if it's going to go there. Of course, we're still a noticeable pierce below this point in here. And yeah, it's either pierce above here next or down below. It mathematically should be. What's the difference of price now, both directions? This is almost 2,000, so that's like 1900. So that's like 23%. And this is 16, so that would be about the same differential from both sides. Maybe a little favored. I don't know what's mathematically favored. I would still think this here, but you know what? It wouldn't take me long if I see weakness in here starting to fall down to 73. I'm gonna be like, yeah, probably gonna go down here now. And if we see this go up to here, holding above this, yeah, probably gonna do that. Probably going to look good. So I mean, it's all about can it hold and stay above it. I don't know the answer to that, as all the short-term movements still have to settle in. As we can see here, that's gonna happen at times. But you have like 6, 7, 8 periods like this. You're gonna have in the settling in period. You have to follow that within maybe 12 or 13 less volatile, but more volatile than before periods. Maybe some up and down choppy action and so on and so forth. And I don't know if this is the bottom or not. There's no way of telling from here. Again, if there's going to be sudden price declines, then that's what it's going to be. There's not much else I can say about that. Weekly chart, there's just too many Fibonacci lines. Plus, I like the Bitstamp exchange for more long-term data, at least when we go through the monthly chart. So I'm going to put this on. And amongst the 18 average, we can see that the highest comes in at 6,636. And amongst this situation in here, this level of support was massive in the 6,000s. That was just a huge, huge area to say the least. As well, we're going to put a line here, roughly around 64.59 in that ballpark area. In fact, it is better to pick a number around 67, 68. Why? Because it congests in here. It's totally this lower congestion area. It's support here, and it's pretty close to being support there as well. It pierced extra, but that was just a big area. And for price action to where's my drawing tool? Let's move this over here. I still can't see it. This is what I'm looking at here, but there it is. I see it now. This is what I'm looking for. And there's my drawing tool. This is to put a line. And this is, like, for example, if I go like this, and then I want to move the screen, like, oh, left, no, that doesn't. So I have to go like this, then I can move the screen, and so on and so forth. And then to delete this, I can go like that, and there's a delete button that you can't see. So that's what I do. That's usually hidden away from the screen. And now, yeah, I remember what I was going to draw. Uh, this little box, and it's not little, it's huge. So if it's not going to resist this general area that it was supposed to in here, can it support that general area, which is in that 6,000s? To me, that's a bullish situation if it does. It really uh, would be not an it would be not wouldn't be an uncommon situation. But if it doesn't support this, and I'm going to be having to draw a box like this, and that's a bearish situation if I get there. But it's always going to be about determining what price action does to be ready for the situation. The 18 average of lows comes in at 56.50. The other one's going to be 5,000. But again, we get above here. We haven't came back to the band yet for any correctionary moves. And in a situation where you have a good leg higher from where it came from, which was down in here, to wherever the high is, if you pierce below it, thus technically come down to here. You're still technically with a higher low, especially if the 18 average goes up to here and you test like say 54 and it goes below, like big deal. That's normal on a bullish level for that to occur if, of course, there's going to be downward movement. Finally, let's take a look at this on the single hour time frame. Then we'll get into some crazy data there after that because I'm going to have fun trading the next game that I'm going to show you, and I'll share that with you when it's available. But within this and here in the monthly, 18 average, multiple months correcting within it, and end up breaking to the downside. And the boxy situation. Okay, no resistance on the lows, no resistance on the highs. Closing above it this month, which is just starting, is it able to hold and stay above it? Well, the 18 average of highs comes in at 6,831, and the lows is at 5,000 even. So this whole 6,000 area for where it came from and where it congested, if it finds support in there, that's coming back to where you came from in that level. That is super strong to support what I was hoping originally would have been weak resistance. And weak resistance to me is defined as a bullish resistance. So coming up here, oh, it was both bullish and bearish to find resistance here, but on a bullish level, maybe it only come back to say 43 or 41 or something, and then break it out. But no, it's already gotten above it. So when it breaks resistance or support, I'm going to look for it to become the opposite. So support becomes resistance, resistance becomes support. So this level of resistance, well, now it has became, and it is an area I'm looking for that of support. All right, let's move on. Thanks to one of my subscribers, you know who you are, for a link to this website. It's cryptoarchive.com. I'll put a link in the more information box for it. There's a lot of free downloads. This is what I don't like though. If I want to buy this for 566, which is Cardano against Bitcoin, it would cost me that. So okay, and this is only 27 cents for this one. That's Cardano and Binance Coin. But they have pay with PayPal, and I'm fine having that. But where's pay with Bitcoin or Litecoin or whatever? I find it an oxymoron. And what the F are you doing when you're selling something crypto related? Why don't you accept cryptocurrencies? But anyway, anything in the green color is you have to pay for. Everything else is free download. And there's a lot of free downloads. So this is against PAX, and you get some US dollars. So there are some US dollar crossings available. But amongst this, there's a whole bunch of these. And what we're going to notice is a lot of them are BNB pairings, but there's a lot of free downloads. And I'm not going to show you the rest of them, but they go down in alphabetical order. In fact, I scrolled through a whole bunch of them that I just because the last time I'm like, I got to get Theta, I got to get Theta. I'm going to show you what I found with Theta. So you click on the free download, you down it. They give you a CSV file. And the CMT one, this is against CMT against Cybermiles against Binance Coin. And let me just show you how many rows this is. 779,301. Okay, that's a lot. That puts my computer to a little bit of work when I do stuff like this. It also has these little square boxes too. So this is all one row. This is column rather. That's column A. So I can see here like an ID number, four of the same numbers, open, high, low, close. And I don't know what those zeros are, but if I scroll up, I can see that these prices have changed. Now, when they asked to import, what I did is that there's a thing you can say for other, and I pasted in this little box. And then what I did it with the next one, it automatically shifted it over for me. So what I did is I downloaded the Theta versus BNB. And I've already done some work in here, which I'm going to explain. Let me just pair this up so you can see everything starting from the left. There we have it. Excellent. I'm still not done yet. I gotta push this button. And then I'm going to have to just push this over a bit. Just so that I can scroll through fine with my with everything I got here. Okay. Didn't want to do that. Let's minimize that, and here we go. So there's all the data in here. So it came down to this point in here. And then we can see that there's over 500,000 rows. So, light bulb in my head, I got an idea. Well, first of all, I realized that some of these were the same, but what I do is swing highs and swing lows. If I do a swing, what I do to do a line chart to have the computer determine if there's a difference, like for example, what do I choose here, 1548 or 1499? As my number? Or do I pick the close? Well, I'm going to pick the high or the low every time. If it's an uptrend, I pick the high. If it's a downtrend, I pick the low. So what I've done is the average of three rows. So I started within column L. That's what this is the average of three rows, which is that. So if this number is larger, it's an uptrend from the one before. If it's lower, it's a downtrend. So I'm saying to the computer here, if it's an uptrend, I want the high. If it's a downtrend, I want the low. There's the data there. Now in here, what I did was, if M7 is greater than use. So what I did in here, this is last trade. So this number here is the 10% price higher. So that's 10% over 0.0155 is 0.1705. This here is the equivalency of a 10% down move, or this number multiply that of 10 divided by 11, that fraction there, which is the equivalency of a 10% down move to get it there. So now what I'm asking the computer here, and I got a counter here for a reason. So is this number greater than the high or smaller than the low? If it is, put that number in, or put 0. This has false, but I fixed this to 0. And in here, I'm going to ask that question, okay, if this is active, give me what the counter number is here, which is 1. As well, give me what the price is. Now, the reason for the counter is, so I'll show you in a bit, but it's for copying and pasting purposes later. But in the counter, this is going to start with 0. If this gets activated and this is higher, we'll add this number by 1 more. If not, just keep the number the same. We can see how all these 2's just line up, just so many of them. After all, I'm dealing with over 500,000 trades. It looks, each one looks like an individual trade. That's like so fascinating. Or each, I guess, 1 minute moves, I guess. It's a 1 minute time frame. That is really extreme. But hey, I like this data. So in here, it keeps on re-adding it. So if there's a new move, I want that last number. So you can see here, it changes it to 18.4. Thus, it recalculates the numbers automatically for you. Some moves are going to be better than that. Sometimes it's going to say 10% will end at, say, 15 or 20. So that's okay. So that's that. And next thing is, well, you just keep on pasting this down. So if I push page down on here, and there's going to be 500,000, so it didn't push, it didn't go. Yeah, so I'm just going to push page down again, 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 and again. Look how long it took for trade number 3 to come in. Okay, row 1,000. Yeah, 1,000. Well, in total, when I scroll this all down, and for me to copy and paste everything took about many seconds. And now it's auto-saving, so this is going to take me forever. There we go. It's done now. 260 times it crossed over. That's pretty decent. So what I did is I copied and pasted all the way this down, and I put it into Notepad. Although I could have just done a paste special on the other end as well. So I copy this, and then I put that into a different spreadsheet. And within these big programs, that means things can fail. I'm hoping Untitled 2 comes in because that's where my data is. My trades with hardware that I use for all my trades, that got successfully recovered. I don't. This data BNB CSV file, I mean, it's monstrously big, so I don't think I'll be downloading anymore. Um, I did a lot of black. What did I do? Fantasy sports. I dealt one spreadsheet. And it worked out well with that. I would have like, I did over 1,000,000 rows. And I mean, it was slow, but, and I might have had a problem like this happen once or twice. But this thing is doing all this. I'll have to just let it go through time. I realized that this is a big file. It's in CSV format too, so that might be another reason why that happened. Probably what I should have done is once I got the data as I like it on Theta BNB, there we go, it's recovered. Once I got the data from BNB, I probably should have copied it over so I could save the data into another file. And now this is just taking forever to load, as we can see here. Basically, what I took every single one of those numbers, like up to 260. I would sort it by that number from that one. So, I mean, there would have been thousands of rows from maybe one trade to another, but it would have put it all in one row. And then I did the whole ratio thing, but I was unable to paste it into that game to start trading, which I'll do later if it works. So I'll let you know later if it does or if it doesn't. But until then, I'm going to stop this video and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.